Welcome to the Gym Academy podcast. Joining me today is Curtis Gordon, the owner of the lifting studio in Denver, Colorado. He's actually been a member of the Gym Academy family for a very long time now. He's going to talk about how he was able to open his gym and within just 3 months make it to the 30K mark. And now just 8 months in, he's now already looking for new coaches and is ready to scale his gym. Let's go ahead and hear from Curtis and his backstory.
Cool. Super quick backstory on me. From a super small town in Illinois, I ran track at the University of Illinois. From there, I went on to go in the Navy. I did 4 years in the Navy. When I got out, I worked for my dad. My dad has 12 gyms, and when I was operating his gym, I was working day and night, and I learned a ton. And I thought, if I'm working day and night, what if I open my own gym? And so 8 months ago, I opened my own gym. I've been working with Gym Academy for a long time. I worked with them when I was managing my dad's facility. I work with them still. And so now I own my own gym called the Lifting Studio. We just do small group training. We opened up about 8 months ago, and we're hanging out around 78, 79 members.
So you've always been in the gym business?
Since I was probably ever a kid. I remember going to the gym when I was probably, 7 or 8, and my dad personal training clients and helped them re-rack weights when I was a kid. So I wasn't training obviously, but I was just helping clean up and re-rack weights when I was a kid. So been in the gym industry because of my dad since forever.
That's awesome. Most people don't have that gateway. Most of the time it's just I like working out, so I guess I'll open a gym. How did your dad take you saying, hey, I want to go off on my own?
I think he actually really liked it. I think he does large group training, and I think he realized that, hey, there's a niche here in small group training. And I think he was excited to see me sort of get on, I don't want to say early, but kind of early into the trend of strength training. I feel like strength training is only trending up right now. And I feel like I'm fairly at the beginning of it. Obviously, strength training's always been huge. But right now with kind of the podcast, I feel like every podcast is talking about women over 40 need to lift weights. And I got in on that sort of early. And that's our demographic. We work with clients over 40. But long story short, I think my dad was excited to see me get in early on kind of this trend.
So do you feel like you launched hitting the ground running because you already had a little bit of a background, or how did open up your gym go?
I'm super fortunate to be able to open the gym. Kind of already knew how to market. I already knew how to sell. I already knew how to coach. Only thing I don't know how to do is to hire and manage a team. And so that's what I'm learning now. But as far as how to get clients, as far as an acquisition system, I already had that in place. And so that's how we were able to go do a 30K month, month 3.
That's awesome. So 3 months in, you're at 30K a month, but now you're at the point where you're needing to scale. What are you at now?
We're at 39. We should hit 40 this month. We should hit 40. Everything looks like we should do a 40K month this month. But yeah, now we're looking to scale, trying to get myself out of coaching a little bit so I can do the sales. I can handle the marketing a little bit more. Try to buy back anywhere from 20 to 25 hours a week of my time.
Does your dad have does he do anything with you with the hiring process? Did he help you with this kind of transition? I'm sure he had to go through a lot of it himself.
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit. I think the biggest things that he has told me is find someone that's excited about the job. Don't try to take someone and convince them this is a great job. They should be excited about doing the job.
Yeah, that's really important. I've always been a big advocate for that. My favorite way to find trainers is actually finding people who work in retail or waiters and just judging them completely on personality, because the rest can be taught. You can teach someone how to coach, that's easy. But teaching someone to actually be enthusiastic and have a personality, that's the hard part. How's the hiring process going for you right now? How many interviews have you done?
We've done 5 interviews. This week we're going to have a couple shadows. I would say it's challenging. We're getting a ton of applicants. They're almost in 2 categories. They're they have absolutely zero experience, they just graduated high school and want a little more experience than that, or they have so much experience that they used to own a gym and it failed for whatever reason, and it's almost a little bit too much experience. Kind of I want someone a little more raw, but not just graduated high school yesterday raw. I want somewhere maybe around that 2 years of experience, kind of not 10 and not 0.
So you don't have to unbreak bad habits and to build everything from the ground zero as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. What's your hiring process look like? Can you walk me through kind of the interview process? Because there's a lot of people out there that really struggle with this.
By no means am I an expert. I was joking the other day that, I worked for my dad. I went into the military and opened my own business. I had never done an interview before. I'm no expert on this. But I have about 25 questions that I ask them via Zoom if the phone call goes well. They seem like they have good energy on the phone. They seem excited about it. They don't tell me some crazy story on the phone that disqualifies them. So we do the Zoom. It's about 25 questions. I'm looking for someone that can answer the questions that I ask them. Even if they don't have a good answer, they're able to maintain a good just like good emotion. They don't get flustered. They don't say 100 times. They're able to just answer the questions calmly. And when I answer questions like, if you were to show up late for the job and no one's there, what would you do? I want someone to tell me. I would let you know, hey, I was late this morning. No one's answered that question right yet so far.
What's the normal answer? What do you normally get?
I've got some decent answers. Things like I would text the members and let them know I'm running late, which is a good answer. But no one's taken the full responsibility of it yet. They say things like, I would never be late. I'm like, probably not. But if you were, hypothetically, you were late, what would you do? No one's taken 100% responsibility of it yet. They're kind of just like, almost like, oh, I wouldn't be late. If you were. We've all been late at some point in our lives. This happened. And you're not perfect.
I asked a very similar question in my interviewing process. That was, if you show up and you have an empty class, no one's there, which happens rarely, but sometimes it does. What would be the first thing you do? The best response I ever got, worst response, I mean, I'd probably just sit there for the hour, wait to see if anyone shows up. I was like, nope.
No, thank you.
Nope. Have you had any fun interviewing experience or stories?
Yeah, I have had a funny story with this guy. Right before the interview, he sent me a shirtless photo of him in the mirror. And he was pretty jacked, and I took the phone call anyways because now I'm just intrigued to see how this is going to go. So right before the interview, sends me a shirtless photo, and then immediately I answer the phone and he just starts word vomiting about how he's going to help my gym and how he's going to bring members in and how he knows everybody, he's super connected, and I don't think I got a word in. He just word vomited for like 5 minutes until I eventually was like, okay, man, I gotta go. We'll talk soon, okay?
Don't call us. We'll call you.
Yeah, we'll call you. Just don't wait up for it though, okay?
That is a bold move. You know what will get me the job? My abs. That's the solution. Every time.
He was jacked. I mean, I give him that.
Hey, I mean, appearance can go a long way in this industry. If you don't look like you know what you're doing, a lot of people don't really listen to you too often. So, I mean, maybe you had the right idea. Just wrong client avatar.
Poor execution, yeah. Because our demographics mostly over 40. They don't really want that. So,
although I've had some interesting over 40 clients that might beg to differ. You always get those oddballs out.
I mean, we all want to look better, right? I think Bob says all the time. One of Bob's jokes is like, everyone wants to look better naked. It's kind of the truth.
I actually use that marketing on my website. One of our mission statements is we help you look better naked. So I own that fact.
Everyone's thinking it.
100%. So what was the deciding factor? You're at a point now where you're reaching enough growth that you're like, I need to start hiring. What made you decide this was the time?
Yeah, I had a conversation at the last flying with Jimmy, and he kind of brought up how I have to spend money to make money. And I kind of felt like I was almost taking our profit and kind of holding on to it. Because for me, we're making a decent amount of money, more money than I ever made in my life. And I kind of had I just feel like I need to hold on to it, it's going to go somewhere. And by holding on to that profit, I was delaying my growth. So I need to be able to spend some of that to find an employee, to remove myself from the coaching so that we can grow. Because right now, if I coach 25 hours a week, try to sell, even though if I can drink 3 energy drinks a day, but it's hard to bring your all to the coaching session if, you just coached for 5 hours, you did 2 consults, onboarded a client, and then you got to coach again. If you've been coaching or talking for 9 hours, I don't care who you are. Maybe it's just me. Maybe other people can do it. Around hour 8, I am not as good as I was hour 2 or 3.
100%. Yeah, I'll never forget the time that I was doing, this was when I first opened my gym, and I started my first session. It was at 4 a.m. I did 4 a.m. to 9, back to back. Then I painted the gym, because we're still under construction, for 3 hours, and then went back to back until 8. And I got home around 10, because I did some admin stuff at the end of it. And my girlfriend was like, how was your day? And my brain just, I couldn't, I was just like, I'm not even going to respond. I can't physically talk to anyone else at all. It's so exhausting.
And so to try to work on the business when you've worked in the business all day, I'm not saying you can't do it, but it's hard. It's hard.
I can't agree more. How many people are you planning on bringing on?
I would like to find 2 really good people. My goal is before the next fly-in, which I think is August. Hopefully I think it's August. My goal is to have 2 full-time coaches in August. And so that I'm just a manager. I might coach here and there just a little, but that way I can really start focusing on building a team. Long-term goal is going to be multiple locations. And so I need to start building a team, figure out how to lead a team, how to grow a team, and then remove myself.
Yeah, being able to manage a team if you want multiple locations, that's a must. Have you ever managed a team before? I know you worked as kind of like a team manager or a gym manager for your dad.
Yeah, I mean, I managed there, but looking back on like what I did, I feel like there's a lot of things that I did wrong. And so good news is I can look at that and be like, yeah, I did that wrong. I won't do that again. But I feel like I didn't do it successfully. And so the nice thing about GOS is there's a lot of good information there about how to actually manage a team and how to grow and who to hire first and who to hire next. And I was talking to Josh, and one of the goals that he was like, I should be a manager until about 60K and then try to replace myself. So that's sort of the goal, the path that I'm on, is get to 60K with 2 coaches. I'll still do the sales, and then around that 60K mark, try to fill my spot.
What do you think is going to make that biggest difference? Because you're about 40K now, right now. What do you think the biggest actions you need to take, or GA has helped you with, that's going to get you to that 60K?
Yeah, the biggest thing is going to be churn. Being able to like take a step back and be able to do quality control of the sessions, and so make sure the sessions are spot on to kind of help solve our churn issue. So far this month we've only lost 3 people. I know it's March 10th, but 3 in 10 days I can deal with, and most of those cancellations were things that just like out of our control. Like they moved, somebody has like severe health issues. But long story short, being able to remove myself from the day-to-day so I can do quality control in the sessions, which will then lower the churn, help us grow.
And what does quality control mean for you? Are you going to like shadow over them and be like, no, with a ruler every time your coach says something like the old nuns? Or how do you plan on managing that?
Yeah, we have a paddle, and if anyone does something we don't like, we paddle. No, I'm just kidding.
Just whip it out.
Yeah, so it hangs on the wall, and if I don't have to grab the paddle. I just kind of point at the paddle when they're not doing well. No, I'm just kidding. We're going to use the rule of 5 as kind of a customer success thing. One quick little rundown on the rule of 5 is going to be say their name within 5 seconds when they walk in the door. Say their name 5 times in the session. 5 personal questions. 5 coaching cues in the session, like, hey Tiffany, widen up your stance. Hey Tiffany, bring your elbow in. Coaching cue like that. 1 wow moment a month. And then one thing that I'm working on is doing 5 laps around our facility. That way you've done 5 full laps. It'd be hard not to give everybody 5 coaching cues. The big 5.
I like that.
I forgot one.
What's that?
It is going to be introduce a new member to 5 new people their first week. People come for the results, stay for the community, right?
100%. That's a big one. That's probably one of the biggest lacking points. Do you do any kind of like community events and stuff at your gym, or is it all just sessions?
That's what one of the things we're implementing right now, and that I'm struggling to do with just so much like day-to-day tasks that's hard to like take a step back and kind of like look at the big picture and schedule some community events. But we're starting a book club. We started a Facebook group, and when someone joins, we introduce them in the Facebook group. We're doing a 6-week challenge, that kind of stuff. So we're going to start introducing some more community, more internal events. Those kind of things are just like have been kind of getting pushed off just because it's just so busy.
Yeah, one man can only do so many things, but I can promise you, once those community events start hitting, it's a game changer. We do a big one every quarter that ends in a party. So like we have our red carpet challenge in January. It ends with a big party where we dress like we're going to the Grammys. We do our Lean by Halloween, Spring Shred, and Ho 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 Down, or Ho 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 Wait Down, which ends with a Christmas party. Yeah. But those parties are so fun. Like it's such a different atmosphere when you have a group of individuals that don't just work out together, but they actually go and hang out outside of the gym. It's a game changer.
No, I think you're 100% right. You do one quarterly, so for a year.
Mm-hmm. For a year. Then we have like mini challenges sprinkled through.
Yeah, I think that's a good spot to be. I feel like quarterly is kind of like I could wrap my brain around quarterly. Monthly, and originally I was like, yeah, we'll do a monthly event, and then I was like, well, I don't have time for that. That was the plan.
we do try to do we do quarterly big events, but we'll do small little things. We typically have something going on every month. Like this week we have board day where people get together and they test out their max deadlift, squat, and bench. We'll do hiking events, things like that. So just little things that don't really take up a lot of brain power. The trick to it though is setting down, and this is the one thing that saved me, is setting down at the end of the year and just mapping out the next year when your next events are going to be. It's hard the first time, but after that it gets easier because you can just kind of put them at the same time, just give or take a couple days. But if you're like me, you'll screw it up every year and book yourself over something else. Like for example, our red carpet event, I booked it the same day as our fly-in event. So I had to move our red carpet event so I could go to the fly-in event.
Yeah, it's hard. I don't know what I'm doing in a year from now. How do you know what you're doing from a year from now?
Hey, if it's locked in, I know I'm not doing whatever isn't this party?
That's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I think community and then quality control. I think our churn is going to be in a good spot, and then I feel really good about our acquisition system. And so it's just kind of a leaky bucket to say. It's not that bad. It's 9%, but I want it to be 5% or less, ideally.
Get it down to that legendary 3% and just make it Scale City.
Yeah, 3's almost crazy. And like at least in Denver, we have a decent amount of people that are like coming and going in and out of the city. And so like every month we have like one or two persons just like they're just leaving Denver. They got a new job or whatever. So I feel like 3% is almost like mystical.
Well, there's your new benchmark. That's going to be your legendary goal right there.
Yeah, just no one's allowed to like take a new job or leave Colorado when they join my gym.
Just make a strict rule. We only allow this many cancellations a month, and if you don't make it before we reach that, then like you can't cancel. Sorry.
I like that one. Yep, 3 a month is the max. After that, you gotta wait till next month. Get in line.
Yeah, you better get in here sooner. We have a waiting list.
we have a waiting list to cancel. No thanks.
It's like those gyms that make it where like you have to send a handwritten letter to corporate to cancel your membership. I've seen a couple of them do that, and their churn is next to non-existent because no one wants to do it.
The state of Colorado is cracking down on that. They're making it a lot easier for people to cancel. You get a 3-day grace period, and then if someone signed up in person, you can make them cancel in person. But if somebody bought online, they have to be able to cancel online. So Colorado's kind of cracking down on that.
Yeah. I've seen New York's doing the same thing. I think theirs is even more strict though. I think you have to be able to cancel online no matter what with New York, which is a very interesting thing for people like me who make websites because I have to add in this whole cancellation process.
Yeah, that's annoying for you. It's annoying for everybody.
So your main focal points is hiring and cracking down on churn. Do you have a timeline of when you'd like to see some more gyms open, or is it just one of those when we get there, we get there?
Don't have a strict timeline. My big timeline right now is I'd like to have 2 employees that are full-time before August. And so if we have that, and we're at 60K, I can kind of remove myself, hopefully, and hire the manager. I think once we've got 2 full-time coaches, we've got a manager, and then probably like 3 to 6 months of either growth on the gym or at least staying the same with me gone, then we'll probably start looking at location number 2. Hard to say when that would be. We just opened 8 months ago.
Which is incredible. 8 months and you're already here. How big of a difference is it from managing a gym and owning one? Was it more than you thought it would be?
It is more than I thought it would be. Right now it's tax season. We're trying to figure out taxes, things that just you don't really think about, especially when I was like building out the gym. Things I didn't really think about in overhead was like we have a storage unit. I didn't consider that. I didn't really think about utilities. We need to buy a sign for the building. It's like $12,000. I didn't really factor. Yet? Well, I got a quote. The flying was just like last weekend. Man. It's been a week.
Hey. Come on.
I'm working on it.
Bob would have been like next day.
I got a quote today, and so it takes a little while, but they quoted me at 12K, but the city's being very strict on how big it can be. It can only be 30 square feet, long story short. You threw me off track. What were we saying?
Sorry, buddy. I just got hit by I don't have a sign yet. How big of a difference is it between owning and managing, was it?
Yeah, there's a lot of things I just didn't think about. I think the storage unit, the sign, the insurance, utilities. There's a lot of things like that, taxes that I didn't consider. There is a lot more that goes into it than just selling memberships, which I pretty much was just doing before. I was pretty much just like calling leads and selling them. And so I'm really good at that aspect. But yeah, there's a lot that goes into the gym aside from calling leads and selling people.
Yeah, there's all those little, the hidden taxes of being your own boss is now you have all the taxes, all the signs, all the rules. Really comes and sneaks up on you. So you've been with Gym Academy for quite a while, even before you even opened your own gym. What would you say some of the most important skills you've learned from them that's helped you accelerate so fast?
I would say the number one thing that's made me grow to where we are right now is going to be just how to book leads and how to sell leads. I mean, it's hard to grow a gym if you can't sell people. It's just pretty straightforward. And so I was able to learn how to sell. And then I think the second biggest thing, nothing really outbeats being able to sell. You can solve a lot of problems by selling things. And so number 2, I think, is just breaking limiting beliefs. I mean, I had a combo with Josh a while back. He probably doesn't even remember this, but he asked my 1-year goal. I told him my 1-year goal, and he was like, "Why can't you do that in 5 years? That's a or he asked my 5-year goal. And I told him my 5-year goal, and he was like, "Why can't you do that in 1 year? That's not a 5-year goal. That's a 1-year goal." And I thought about it for just a second, and I was like, "Josh is right. Like that was just a self-limiting belief that I had. It'll take me 5 years to do this, but there was really no reason that I couldn't do that in 1 year." So the biggest things were learning how to sell. That's the most important, and then just breaking down some of these limiting beliefs of like, why can't I do X, Y, Z?
Yeah, I think you're right on both the cards. Actually, Bob was just on the podcast not too long ago, and his gym, I guess he actually had a pretty decent churn problem too, but he sold so much on the front end that he just never really noticed until much later in the business. Selling stuff can get you out of almost anything, but nothing will get you out of trouble faster than breaking limiting beliefs, realizing something is possible that you didn't even imagine. One interesting exercise I do with that is, like, for example, we just got back from the flying event and we went to, what was it, the Venetian?
Yeah.
It blows my mind that there is someone out there that owns that. Like, I can't even fathom that level of money. And here I am like, oh, could I make $100K a month in my gym? Is that even possible? Someone owns the Venetian.
100%, yeah.
Yes,
Venetian looks like you're in a movie when you walk around that place. Like, it's a movie set. It doesn't seem real. I don't know who owns it.
Did you go to this? Oh, I don't either. I meant to Google it, but I never did. I'd probably someone that we don't even know exists. He's hidden on an island somewhere.
It's even crazier.
Did you go to the spot of the Venetian where it looked like you were outside and there was like a moat thing?
No, I missed this.
Yeah, there was literally an entire canal that you could ride in a gondola in, and it looked like the sky on the ceiling. It was bright. I literally thought I walked outside for a second. I was so confused.
Dang, yeah, no, I missed that. Yeah, and so we're over here like, I don't know if I could get my gym to 60K. Like, they do 60K an hour there.
Yeah, 60K. What are you talking about? They'll drop that, not even know it's gone.
Yeah. So limiting beliefs, I think, was big. You can outsell a lot of problems to a certain point. Obviously, if you're losing 30% of your customers, you can't really outsell that. But you can outsell a lot of things, and then I think the biggest thing is the self-limiting beliefs that you don't even question. Like you have the beliefs that you kind of question, and then you have the beliefs above that you don't even question, that they're just set in stone, and it kind of takes someone else to see that limiting belief, because to you it's just that is how it is. It's black and white. It takes someone other Josh or you to just be like, what? Why can't you do that? And then you think for a second, you're right. Why can't I do that?
It's both empowering feeling and also kind of one of those feel like you just hit your head against the wall feelings, because this whole time you didn't even think that this was a limiting belief. You didn't even think about it. It just was. Yep. And it was so obvious when someone points it out.
Yeah. Dude, for the next week, I couldn't stop thinking about that. I was like, man, he was living in my brain for the next week. And I was like, well, now I start thinking, well, what other things am I thinking that are limiting beliefs that I don't even know about, that are just written rules to me? Which
is a great example of why we do the flying events and get you in the room with a bunch of people who are blowing it out of the water. So apart from getting a sign.
I got the quote. It's coming.
Hey, I got to give you some crap, man. I got to do it. Getting the sign and, obviously hiring from Jimmy. What was some other big takeaways you got from the flying event?
To me, I think just getting around people and seeing what's possible, seeing that gyms are actually doing well. I think sometimes you hear the stats about gym owners. I think it's somewhere around 70 to 80% of gyms cancel or they close year one. And getting around other people and seeing that hey, this is possible is a great refresh for me, because sometimes things don't go great or you're stressed out about X, Y, Z, and it's kind of easy to get in this kind of negative mindset. And so just kind of getting out of that loop, getting out of my own head of hey, gyms are still crushing. There's no reason my market's not good, and just keep working. The sky really is the limit. I mean, there's Bob there that had 16 locations. Jimmy's got 5 locations. People doing 100K months. I think it just is a great refresh for me to be hey, gyms are still doing good. Get out of your head. People want to work out, and people want to lose weight. Go help them. Yeah,
100%. Hearing about it's one thing, but being in the room with people is doing it. That's what really changes everything.
And they're normal people. They're not, if you went up to them and they're they were, I don't know, they were an alien. Be like, well, I'm not an alien. Like, you just talk to them and you're like, wow, they're very normal people, like just like me. Like, they're doing it. Why can't I do it?
Yeah, Jimmy's a perfect example of that. Like, Jimmy is the most down-to-earth person I think I've talked to in a long time. And I don't say this in like a begrudging way, but I would never assume that he has 5 locations and he's just raking it in. And then you start hearing him talk and you're like, no, it makes sense that you're doing this, but I would not have just assumed that.
Yeah, that's what I mean by, like, you know, you talk to them and you're like, oh, this is a normal guy. His systems are insane. Like, that's why he's doing so well. His systems are so well. They're just so, like, his SOPs are so good, trying to steal as many
So
as they
methodical.
can. Yeah, they're so good, and that's why he's able to scale a team. But yeah, you talk to him and you're like, he's a very, very smart guy. Like, he's got a CSCS, master's degree, very smart guy. But he's just a normal dude.
Which definitely helps with the oh, I can do this too. We got this.
Yeah, 100%.
Until you see how well his SOPs are made. You're like, maybe I don't.
Yeah. You're like, I don't even have an SOP.
Speaking of that, one thing we talked about at the event was building out your customer journey. Have you put any more thought into that, or is that going to be a vital next step once you get someone hired in?
No, we've been trying to tackle that right now. I think that's going to be really important to kind of nip some of this churn in the butt. Quick little thing that we do is we do a one-on-one onboarding where we set great expectations about what they should expect from us, what we expect from them. So I think setting expectations from the get-go is going to help us a lot. From there, week 1, we try to introduce them to 5 new people. That way they're kind of get ingrained into the community. And then week 1, we try to get them a win. The win we do, which is a grip strength test. And so at the initial consult, we test their grip strength, right and left. And then end of week 1, we retest it. And everyone has done so much better, partly because they know how to do the test, but it's just a little bit of a win, and so it's a very visible win. First, they squeezed 65. End of week 1, they did 75, and it's just a quick little win that they get. End of week 2, give them a handwritten card. Week 3, give them a phone call to schedule their 4-week check-in. Week 4, we do a sit-down meeting, and we go through their strength training book. We go, hey, week 1, you lifted 10 pounds on squat. Now you're at 35 pounds. So another win. That's kind of the first 4 weeks.
That's awesome. And that's something you're already implementing?
Yeah, we started doing it with, I think since we implemented it, we probably had 5 or 6 people go through it. People do seem to be more bought in. Only time will tell. Probably like 90 days from now, the data will show whether it is or isn't working, but it feels like people are bought in.
I mean, even that alone can increase your confidence, which will make the entire experience much more better. You mentioned a book. Do you give them like actual books that they write in, or?
Yeah, I can show you. So everybody gets one of these. I actually love this. Everyone gets their own little book, and then we can track.
I remember this from your website.
Yeah, we can track everything they do right here. It's awesome for them, so we can see their progress. But it's also for me as a coach. It helps me coach them 100 times better. So I can see like, hey, Tim, last week you squatted 105 for 10. You know, as long as form is perfect, we're gonna try 115 today. And we make sure that progressive overload is actually happening, because I can't memorize, 100 people's weights.
Yeah. Have you always done an analog like that? Have you ever tried any of the apps like Trainerize or anything like that?
Yeah, we tried and quickly realized that I didn't want to do that. Because we have some older clients. We have, I think, our oldest member is 74, and just getting them to get our booking app, which is very simple, can be a challenge. And when I think about when I go to scale, like Wi-Fi goes down, we lose power, we got to close. But there's just, you're a tech guy, things break. This, as long as you got a pen, you're pretty good.
Completely true. Yeah, we actually did the opposite. We started with pen and paper, realized I didn't want to do that, and I switched to Trainerize. But I did put fail-safes in place. If we have printed out sheets that if, like, I don't know, the internet's down or something, we use those. Oddly enough, the power going out does not stop our clients. They still work out, which is insane, because if you see my gym, it's like a dungeon. There's like no windows anywhere. They just pull out their flashlights and start going, which I probably shouldn't let them, but
yeah, you should probably talk to an attorney about that, but that's beside the point.
Hey, it's definitely an interesting environment.
Maybe add that in your waiver. If we lose power, you're on your own.
Oh no, it's in there. It's the first time it happened, I was like, I need an amendment to this.
Yes.
So I don't know how well it will protect me, but I do have it in there. Just a funny in story. So it looks like we're coming up on time here. I always like to ask a few questions more along the lines to understand the culture of your gym and some fun things in your past. What's one of the funniest or most wild client stories you have?
Off the top of my head, the other week I had a guy doing a bicep curl, and I was like, hey, squeeze your pinky at the top. And then he set the dumbbell down and he goes, I don't have a pinky. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, forget that cue. Another coaching cue. We'll think of another one. That just happened the other day, so I was just thinking about it.
Foot, meat, mouth.
I was like, oh, sorry, man. Hopefully that's not like a really sensitive topic for you. He was cool. He didn't care. He thought it was funny. But yeah, that just happened the other week.
I actually know exactly what you mean. I had a very similar one, but he had it was all three of these fingers were just gone, which I didn't know. He hit it very well. I didn't notice at all. And I noticed that he was doing rows, but he was just doing one arm over and over again. I was like, hey, you should probably do, the other arm for a set. And he's like, I don't think I should. And I was, that's valid. That's a fair assessment.
Yeah. Did you find another way to for him to hold on, like with Versa grips or something? Did you figure it out?
Yeah, I gave him this hook. It's like a Versa grip, but instead it's like a plastic hook that wraps around it. We gave him that, and he could use that. But it was just one of those. Oh. So next question. I'll let you go after this. I know you got more interviews and boss man stuff to do. What is one thing you wish you would have known sooner that would have helped you grow your business?
Get people that are 10, 15 years ahead of you and try to learn from their mistakes. I don't know how much time and money you can save by doing that because it's infinite. If I have drinks with Jimmy on a Saturday night and he talks to me for an hour about how to hire and about how to grow, there's no way to know how much time and money I save by doing that, but I know it's an infinite amount of money and time. So get in the room with people that are ahead of you, even if maybe if it's only 2 years ahead of you. Just get ahead of people that have been there before and can help you avoid some of the mistakes along the way, because there's a lot of mistakes to be made. If you can make a couple less, it's a good idea.
Can't agree more. Amen to that, brother. Well, I definitely appreciate you hopping on. I can't wait to have you on again to find out how $60K a month feels. And thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, man. I want to give you a shout out. You and your website, SEO Skills, has helped me tremendously. I'm getting 20 high quality leads a month and we're converting like 50% of those. So 10 of my signups a month are because of you. So thanks, dude.
Thanks so much, man. I appreciate that.
Appreciate it, man.
Perfect closer.